What's going on, guys? So here in this box is a backwards compatible PS3 that I bought from eBay, and in this video we're going to be unboxing it, testing it out, checking out the condition, and basically seeing if it's worth what I paid for it. And I'm going to tell you guys straight off the bat, I paid a lot of money for this system. It's supposed to be in pristine condition, so I'm pretty excited to open it up and test it out and see if it's actually worth the money I paid for it. But real quick before I unbox this thing, if you want to support the channel and help me buy more crazy stuff like this, go ahead and check the join button down below or my Patreon link in the description. Basically two different services where you can support the channel monetarily, and I gave you some benefits as well. And yeah, so let's go ahead and unbox this thing. Now I guess before I unbox it, let me tell you some of the specs. So as I said, it's a backwards compatible PS3 I got from eBay. It's the 80GB model. It's the CECH E01, so it is a backwards compatible model, at least it's supposed to be. And I'll show you some pictures on the screen right now of the eBay listing. It cost me about $380 including shipping, which is extremely steep for a PS3, but as I said, it's supposed to be in pristine condition. If you see the pictures right now, it's supposed to be like mirror finish on the console. The warranty sticker is still intact. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to open this thing up because it's not very often you come across a PS3 in this good of condition. But let's take a look at the box first. It's what I usually like to do. Now, usually there's a shipping label here, but I ripped it off. And yeah, so it's a pretty large box, as you can see. Looks pretty good. I mean, one of my main concerns, or I guess one of the first things I like to look at is the box and kind of see if there's any damage to it. And yeah, the bottom looks good. This one side, it looks like the box wasn't large enough, or it had a hole in it, so they used like some extra cardboard to cover up the hole or something. Not sure what's going on there. I guess it's all right as long as the console is okay. I always think it's funny when they have these fragile stickers, because I always hear that the fragile stickers are pointless, but you know, maybe it does help. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. I'm not really sure where to slice or where to start at because there's so much tape here. But again, I'd rather there be a lot of tape than no tape. So obviously I want this thing to come in good condition. So we're just going to kind of slice until this thing is opened all the way up. Alright guys, so after like 5 minutes of cutting, I think I'm finally at a point where I can open up this box. So let's open up the flaps, and then you got this weird flap right here, but whatever. And we got some packaging here. This is such a weird box. Pretty standard packaging. And I just pulled out the packing slip, basically just tells me what I bought. More packaging, there's no bubble wrap or anything in here, just the white paper around the outside, which I think is okay for this situation because the console actually comes in the box. And the box itself does a pretty good job of protecting it. Let's go ahead and flip this thing around so now you guys can actually see it right side up. But yeah, as you can see, just use paper around the outside, which is not bad. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out and take a look at it. Alright guys, so here it is. It's in the box, and as you can see, it's a PlayStation 3. It's the big fat one, obviously. It's the 80GB model, and this model actually came with Motorstorm. I'm not sure why it's called a limited edition, because it's just a regular PS3 that comes with Motorstorm, but whatever. Box looks to be in pretty good condition, at least from this side. Let's check out some of the other sides and see what we got here. So on the right hand side, we got a little cut here, but that's not a big deal. A couple cuts there. That's expected though. Take a look at the back. The back is actually in pretty good condition as well. I always like looking at these boxes just to see what they show. They always show some games. So Lair, Heavenly Sword, Resistance Fall of Man, Warhawk, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, and MLB 07, the show. So some pretty old games, and as you can see, it talks about Motorstorm, which is included, obviously. Take a look at the other side of the box. Just shows the PS3 in the game again, and the bottom looks good. All I really got left is the top, and they did say in the listing that this portion was cut out of the box up here for some reason. Not sure why, but let's see what's included. I'm not actually sure if everything listed here is what's included in this actual box, but it says it includes the system, the 6-axis wireless controller, AC power cord, AV cable, Ethernet cable, USB cable, Motorstorm, and printed materials. And yes, this console is old enough that it doesn't even include an HDMI cord. Now it does have HDMI capabilities, but it just includes the AV cable, no HDMI cord. It comes with the 6-axis wireless controller, which I believe is different from a DualShock 3. I think the 6-axis is the first PS3 controller they came out with, and then later on upgraded it to a DualShock 3. I'm not really sure what the differences were, but that's just what I recall off the top of my head. And yeah, let's go ahead and open this thing up. So box is in pretty good condition, so far so good. But I'm ready to open this thing up and check out this mirror finish. So it's got some diagrams of how to pull the stuff out. And yeah, it's actually got all the packaging inside. So here's the controller. Let's start with that. Pretty tight in there, but ooh yeah, this controller is in very good condition. Let's zoom in on this. The analog sticks or the joysticks look like they've, you know, never been used or very rarely been used. Even the buttons are actually a little bit sticky because it seems like the controller the buttons haven't been pressed in a long time. But after you get the first little bit of stickiness out, it's all good to go. The sticker on the back is in pristine condition. The triggers work fine. It actually still has some charge left. That's good. So yeah, so far so good. Let's see what else we got in here. We got an Ethernet cable. Now that's it did say it included an Ethernet cable. I'm not sure why they actually included these. I'm pretty sure this console has Wi-Fi. There actually was a PS3 that did not have Wi-Fi, which is kind of funny. But what else we got here? This is our AV cable. Looks like it's never been opened. Whoever bought this probably just used an HDMI cable, I would imagine. And yes, those are the AV cable. Then we got some power cords down here, or a power cord. Yep, so we got our standard power cord down there. Nice. And I believe that's all we have. Unfortunately, this console does not come with a manual, which is not a big deal, but it would have been kind of cool if it had the manual. Just consider, you know, it had everything else except for the manuals, but not a big deal. Now let's see, how should we take this thing out? I want to take it out without scratching it up, just because it's supposed to have a mirror finish. Maybe let's lay the box down and slide it out. How about that? Alright guys, so I was able to slide it out pretty easily, and I also got the game here, so Motorstorm, and the case looks like it's in really good condition. Got the manual, the game. It's got some dust on the game, but no scratches or anything. Yeah, I mean, this looks like it's really like never been used. I'm pretty excited to see this console. From the pictures, it looks like this thing's never been touched. I don't know if it's ever really been played, but we're about to see. And I want to do this in the best way possible in order to not scratch up the console, because as I've said like 1,000 times now, this thing has got a mirror finish, at least supposedly. So I feel like I'm going to touch it with my fingers and get it all dirty. But let's try this out and see what we can do without making this thing dirty. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it good. And let's go ahead and reveal this console. Definitely very shiny. I'd call that a mirror finish. You can see everything reflecting off of it. That's a nice console. I'll zoom in here, guys. So on the front, we got our 4 USB ports right there. Got a little lip right here, some vents and stuff, and man, it's definitely a mirror finish. You can see everything reflecting off of it. You also got your little slot right here, which includes some things. I don't know what this is, CF, I'm not sure what that is. You got there an SD card / mini SD slot, and then you got your, they had like a proprietary Sony SD card type of thing that goes in there. I forgot what it's called, but yeah. And then you got your disc slot up here, and of course you can twist your little logo. And then if we look at the bottom, also a mirror finish. It's got a little bit more scratches on the bottom, which is expected, but I mean, I'd still call it a mirror finish. I mean, it's reflecting off pretty well. Check out this side, pretty standard, nothing special. Now the other side is a little bit more important because it still has this warranty sticker intact. And if you guys know anything about the PS3s, it is pretty important to have this warranty sticker still intact, because it means it hasn't been opened up and messed with. Sometimes it is good to open it up and clean it out, but a lot of times people are opening these things up to repair them, and when people repair them, it doesn't always, it's not a long-lasting effect. Sometimes it's a temporary solution. But yeah, I'm glad to have this warranty sticker here, so that's nice. And let's go back to the top here. And that thing, it's actually hard to see because the lights I have in here are reflecting off of it, so all you can see are my white lights. But man, yeah, that thing is definitely a mirror finish. Not sure what else to describe it as. I mean, it's some scratches on here, but I mean they're very minor, and all things considered, not too bad. And of course you have your PlayStation 3 kind of embossed right here. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it's nice in chrome, mirror finish. This thing's pretty sweet, guys. I'm excited to go plug this thing in and play some backwards compatible games. Actually, we gotta take a look at the back of this thing, because we did not do that. So as I said, hopefully you guys can see that, but it's the CECH-E01. So it's the 80 gig model. There's a couple other models that are backwards compatible as well. There's a 20 gig model and a 60 gig. The 20 and the 60 I think emulate a little bit better, or I always forget exactly what it is. I think the 20 and the 60 actually use hardware to play the PS2 games and PS1 games, whereas this one uses emulation. Don't quote me on that though, that's just what I recall. But yeah, even the back looks nice too. I mean, I don't see any dust in the vents, and everything just looks like a mirror finish as described. So I can't say it wasn't as described. I mean, this thing's pretty nice. I also I paid a pretty penny for it though too. Like I said, I paid $380 for this, so it better be a mirror finish. Looks nice. It's hard to get a good view of it overhead because you're just seeing everything's just reflecting off of it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and plug this thing in, boot it up, play some games, and we'll get a closer up view of the console so you can see it in all of its glory. Alright, so here we are, guys, up close and personal with the PS3, and let's just give you guys a closer view. And as you can see, it's just, there's no lies detected. It's a mirror finish. I mean, you can see everything in this thing. One thing that's kind of cool is this cover is kind of translucent, so you can kind of see through it a little bit. It's hard to tell on camera, but there's actually a lot of dust there. But you know, these kind of glossy things collect dust like crazy. But yeah, I mean, everything looks extremely clean. This part that's chrome is actually like legit a mirror. And of course, the cool thing, like I showed you earlier, you can flip that if you want to go horizontal or vertical. And yeah, this thing just looks nice. 4 USB ports. Go to your storage here, and yeah, we got our power plugged in, HDMI plugged in, Ethernet plugged in. If you remember, on the old PS3s, you had to flip a power switch on the back, and then you could turn it on. Kind of the same deal as with the PS2. But let's go ahead and boot this thing up and see what it does. And immediately it whirs to life, and you can hear the fan spinning, but it's a very light fan, which is nice to hear. Nice, boots right up. Let's see if the controller connects. So the one thing I did notice is that this console did not come with a USB cable to plug into your console. So luckily I have one, or else I'd be screwed, because micro USB cables are not super easy to come by. Alright, so I got my micro USB cable plugged into my controller, and now it's connected to player 1. And we should be able to unplug it now, and it should stay connected. At least hopefully it does. Yep, there it goes. So now it's connected wirelessly, and we're good to go. And yeah, this thing is booted up nice and quick. The PS3 is not too loud, which is a good sign. I've had some PS3s when I boot them up for the first time, and the fan is spinning like crazy. So this is a good sign. I do wonder if this console has been reset, because one thing interesting, sometimes when you buy consoles, people don't reset their data and stuff. So I'm kind of just interested to see if there's any saved data left on here. It doesn't look like it. There's already a user 1 created, so I guess they created a user 1 for me. But I am interested to see what software version this is on, or firmware version, whatever they call it. See if it's old or new. I think it's somewhere in here. The PS3 has so many settings in here. So system software 4.86, I think that's pretty recent. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that sounds very recent. We can try to update, and so there's a 4.87, so we're almost on the latest. But I have no need to do an update right now. Kind of cool they're still coming out with updates for the PS3 though. But yeah, I mean, nice and smooth. Controller is good condition, as I said. Let's go ahead and try out a game. So first of all, make sure there's no game in there. Actually, you can tell if there's a game in there, because this blue light will come on if there's a game in there, which is a really cool feature about the PS3. So let's try out Motorstorm, because Motorstorm came with it, so we might as well try it out. Alright, so I got it out, and let's see if it slides in nice and easy. And it does. And as I said, Now you get your blue light next to the green light. That's a nice color combo right there. I do like seeing that. And as you can see, guys, Motorstorm is booting up. Sorry I missed part of it. I dropped my controller on the ground. But it is booting up, and you know, this fan is still not going crazy or anything, which is, I'm going to call impressive for a PS3, because like I said, I've played a lot of PS3s where the fan was just constantly going crazy. So I'm pretty happy so far. I mean, this must be a PS3 that somebody just bought and really did not use at all. To be this scratch free and to be this quiet and without dust, it's got to be a fact of somebody not using their console very often. And there we go. I mean, Motorstorm is working fine. The only thing I can really hear right now is the disc spinning, which is something you're actually not used to anymore, because the PS5, Xbox Series X, that sort of thing, actually downloads the game and plays it straight from the hard drive. But yeah, it's booting up fine, works fine. Now what I'm really interested in doing is booting up a PS2 game. I mean, that's what we're all here for. We can play PS3s on literally any PS3, or we can play PS3 games on literally any PS3. But what we really want to do on this console is play PS2 games. I mean, it's like so nice to have it all in one. Let's go ahead and eject this disc. Put it back in the case where it came from. And I got Crash Bash for the PS1. We'll try that in a little bit. First of all, I just want to try GTA 3 for the PS2. And hopefully this game works. There is a chance it doesn't work because it has too many scratches. I have some PS2 games that were not originally mine, and I somehow came across them or acquired them, and they just have all kinds of scratches. So hopefully this works. So PS2 formatted disk, so to save data, you must create an internal memory card. Sure, let's go ahead and do that. Yep. So cool. I don't know why, but this is just such a cool thing to be able to play a PS2 game on the PS3. It's awesome. For me, PS2 is probably my favorite console of all time. It was like the first console I really played, where I played a lot of. I had a PS1 for a while. I had a Game Boy Color. I have a Game Boy Color still, but the PS2 is, like the OG for me. I played so much PS2 back in the day. So many good games too. Just a huge library of games. Lots of good, lots of bad. But yeah, we got GTA 3 booting up here. And it's so nice to be able to have everything all in one. PS3, PS2, and PS1. And when you have a nice clean console like this, it's a nice setup in your entertainment system, or your entertainment center, if you roll like that. Alright, so I guess it's just loading up now. I don't know if I've ever really played GTA 3 on the PS2. I've played GTA games on the PS2, but it was always like at a friend's house, and we just screw around and drive cars around and crash into stuff. And I never played like a story mode on the PS2. I mean, I never played a GTA story mode on the PS2. But I guess it's just... Oh, my controller's not even connected. What the heck? I guess I had to reconnect it. I was sitting here waiting for it to load, and it was just because my controller was not connected. So I know sometimes, yeah, so when you play PS2 and PS1 games, it gives you this like menu of things to do. Kind of cool. You can change your screen mode. We can go full screen. You can change your controller settings. You can change the slot, what memory card you're using. I guess even in the PS2 days, GTA took forever to load. Yeah, we starting off with a burning car. How fitting. But yeah, guys, this is pretty cool. PS2 game's working, obviously. Last one we got to try is a PS1 game. Now, I'm pretty sure you can actually play PS1 games on all PS3s, which is pretty cool. But I don't know. I don't think PS1 was quite as beloved as the PS2. So yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if the PS5 could play PS5, PS4, PS3, PS2, and PS1? That'd be pretty sweet. But I mean, a nice setup you can have now is you can have your PS5 play PS5 and PS4 games, then you have your PS3 like this play the PS3, PS2, and PS1 games. So with two consoles, you can play all of your PlayStation games, or essentially all of them. There's a couple of games you can't play, but that might be the setup I have to go with now, because I have a PS5, so I can play PS5 and PS4 games on that. And now that I have this PS3, I can play all the rest of my PS3, PS2, and PS1 games. which is pretty sweet. You know, a lot of this stuff I unbox on this channel, you know, I use it for other stuff, and eventually I resell it sometimes. But I think this is one of those consoles I'm gonna have to keep just because it's so cool, dude. If you guys have not played Crash Bash, you gotta play it. It's a classic. It's a pretty fun party game. It's like Mario Party, but better. You can pick like little mini games and stuff and play with people. But yeah, PS1 game is obviously working. I don't know there's a whole lot else to try out in here. I mean, we tried out the internet briefly because it showed us a software update was available. We tried out PS3, PS2, and PS1 games, and everything's running smoothly, man. I mean, as you guys saw, the console looks great. Controller works great. It's a 6-axis controller, which, as I said, I believe is different from a DualShock 3. And yeah, I mean, everything works great. The console seems to be running very smoothly. It's really quiet, which is a good sign. You know, as I showed you guys, you have the warranty sticker still intact, which is not a super it's not a super common occurrence for you know, consoles like this. But yeah, I'm super pleased with this console. Pretty good purchase. I mean, it was a steep price, $380 including shipping. Pretty steep price, but for a console in this good of condition, you know, you don't come across these every day, so I'm glad I picked this up. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know down in the comments if you guys have a PS3, specifically if you have one of the 20, 60, or 80 gig PS3 models that are backwards compatible. I want to hear your experiences and, you know, what kind of condition your console is in, and if you still play it. But yeah, like I said earlier, if you want to support the channel, go ahead and hit the join button down below, or hit my Patreon link. You know, any dollar you contribute is going back directly into the channel for stuff like this, where I purchase consoles and unbox them and kind of give you the full experience. So definitely support me if you can. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. And again, thanks for watching.